Hey there YouTube, it's been a while since we've done a weapon light video, and I wanted to go ahead. I got a Cloud REIN 2.0 micro and compare that to a Cloud REIN 1.0 micro. And as usual, I'm using my Streamlight HLX handheld 1000 lumen light as the comparison basis. I've just found it's a really well-rounded light. A lot of people are familiar with it because while it's not what I'd call inexpensive, in the realm of lights like this, it kind of is. So it's pretty ubiquitous. It's been out a long time, and I really just feel like people can relate to it pretty well typically. And like I say, it's also one of my favorites. Very well balanced light. I've got it set up where I have low, medium, and high. So there we are. As usual, our targets are 2/3 IPSC steel painted white. They're at 100 yards and they're 3 yards apart. And this is our HLX Streamlight. Very good blend of spill and throw. It's really an excellent light, honestly. You can usually get them on Amazon for $75 more or less. Sometimes a little bit less if there's a promo. It's got good color rendition. Since we got some coyotes irritating the neighbor's dogs there. All right, now I'm going to break out the REIN 1.0 and let y'all have a look at how that does. And we are going to compare the lights head to head. Well, you hear the coyotes really well. We're going to compare the lights head to head because I know that you are wondering about camera settings and all of that. And you know, I'm not a professional photographer. The best I can do for you is to have both lights on the same, I guess, plane of existence, if you will, for the camera. A little bit narrower. Honestly, it looks like a little bit less output. I've forgotten the numbers on all of this. One thing I'm going to say is I'm noticing this is a very warm light. I feel like it, on previous occasions, has cut through fog a little bit better, potentially. The camera's doing a very good job of enhancing the greens right now. To me, it looks kind of brown, just to my eyes, and I think that you'll see that when I guess, head-to-head compare it. But a little bit higher candela to the eye. I know on paper it's a lot higher, but it's a little bit higher to the eye than the HLX, and a little bit narrower hotspot down there. All right, now the REIN 2.0. A little bit less spill. I'm seeing noticeably higher candela downrange. We're barely encompassing our 3 targets down there. It does appear to have less peripheral spill in the intermediate distance. This is a bit cooler. I'm seeing greens, and it's also, I would say it's probably able to cut through fog pretty well. It's cooler than the REIN 1.0, but it's warmer than a lot of lights. I would say it's probably in the upper 5,000 Kelvin range, 55 to 6, somewhere in there. I really like the tint of this beam. They've got supposedly a 5200 Kelvin filter lens on this, and it's responsible for a little bit of ringing, if you will, a little bit of rings. It's, I'm trying to get the camera to, there you go. You can see the rings there. There's several of them that are visible. It may be a little bit distracting to some, but you can see there our intermediate spill is kind of a dim zone compared to the rest of the beam. We have pretty good spill up close, but a little bit of a dim zone there just outside of the corona, or outside of the edge of the corona, if you will. I don't know how to feel about that. It's it's not ideal in my opinion, especially when you compare it to a more balanced beam profile. Again, here's the REIN 1.0, and you have one very minor, I'm not sure I'd even call that a ring per se, but your intermediate to near spill is a much more even gradient off the corona there. And when you compare that to something like our venerable HLX, it's very similar in profile, albeit with a larger hotspot and lower candela, to our REIN 1.0. I think this honestly is a factor of reducing the bezel diameter. REIN has reduced their bezel diameter significantly. Now I understand I believe they've gone to a 1.2 inch bezel. Here's our head-to-head with the 1 and 2.0. Give you an idea there. I don't know if it's picking up on camera or not, but I've got a tree. Yeah, I'm seeing it. It's about 150 yards to that tree in the dead center of the hot spot there. I've measured the candela of these lights on a phone app for what that's worth. The HLX is coming in the mid 20,000s, and the REIN 1.0 in the mid 40s, and the REIN 2.0 at high 50s, low 60s. And I did notice the REIN 2.0 after a few minutes throttled down somewhat aggressively. That's why I'm leaving these two running and just kind of panning. The 1.0 didn't really throttle that much. I think the larger thermal mass of the head was more responsible for that. You can definitely see a sharper cutoff on the hot spot on the targets down there, though. With the 2.0, if you're off the center line of that beam, I think it'd be a lot easier to be not observed, just due to the sharper cutoff. Anyway, the 2.0 is the latest thing out, and so I'll give it a little bit more airtime here. Got a possum downrange. Don't know how well you can see it. Highlighting it with the 2.0 now. And the 1.0. That might be a skunk. I think that's a skunk. I'm not sure. Not gonna find out. Anyway, there you have it, the REIN 1.0 and 2.0.